Welcome back to AI Search Explained by Rank 4 AI. I'm Adam Parker, and I'm here with my co-founder, Jimmy Connoley. Today we're tackling a question that's been coming up repeatedly in our audits. Why ChatGPT and other AI systems mention your competitors when someone asks about the exact services you offer? It's genuinely painful when business owners show us these examples. They'll ask ChatGPT something like, "Best marketing agencies in Manchester," and their direct competitor gets mentioned, while they're completely invisible. The research we've been doing at rank4ai.co.uk shows this isn't random. These AI systems are making calculated decisions about which businesses to surface based on very specific interpretation patterns. What looks like bias is actually systematic. Right, but from a business owner's perspective, systematic or not, it's still a problem that needs solving. So let's break down what's actually happening here. In our audits across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude, we've identified 3 core reasons why competitors get mentioned instead of you. First is what I call contextual authority, how clearly these systems can understand what you actually do. That's where most UK businesses fall down immediately. Their website says they offer bespoke solutions or comprehensive services, without ever clearly stating they're a plumber in Birmingham or an accountant in Leeds. Exactly. The AI systems need explicit context markers. When we test queries like accountants near me in ChatGPT, the businesses that get surfaced have clear geographic and service indicators that the system can parse immediately. But it's not just about being clear, is it? We've seen businesses with perfectly clear descriptions still getting overlooked, while their vaguer competitors get mentioned. That brings us to the second factor, distributed validation. These systems don't just look at what you say about yourself. They're aggregating mentions across multiple sources to build confidence in their recommendations. So if your competitor gets mentioned in local business directories, industry publications, even social media conversations, that creates a pattern these AI systems recognize as trustworthy. Our research shows that Perplexity and Gemini are particularly sensitive to this cross-referencing. They'll favor a business mentioned in 3 mediocre sources over one with a single excellent source, which feels counterintuitive if you're coming from traditional SEO thinking. You'd expect one high-authority mention to outweigh multiple weak ones. The difference is these AI systems are fundamentally recommendation engines, not search engines. They're optimizing for user confidence, not just relevance matching. Let's talk about the third factor then, because I think this is where businesses can actually take action quickly. Query alignment. Most businesses think in terms of what they offer, but AI systems respond to how people actually ask questions. The gap between these two creates massive blind spots. We had one client, a commercial cleaning company in Yorkshire, who described themselves as facilities maintenance specialists. No one searches for that phrase or asks ChatGPT about facilities maintenance. When we tested their target queries in Claude and Copilot, their competitors were getting mentioned because they used language like office cleaning and workplace sanitization, terms that match actual user queries. The fix was straightforward once we identified it, but they'd been invisible for months because of that language mismatch. This is what we mean by AI interpretation research. It's not enough to guess how these systems work. You need to test actual queries and see what gets surfaced. For UK businesses especially, there's a local context layer that adds complexity. ChatGPT might understand solicitor, but respond better to queries about lawyers. Regional variations matter more in AI systems than they did in traditional search.
Google's AI overviews have been interesting to watch for this. They seem more tuned to UK terminology, but they're also more conservative about making recommendations without strong validation signals. So what should businesses actually do about this? Because understanding the problem doesn't solve it. Start with query auditing. Test the specific questions your potential customers would ask these AI systems. Don't assume. Actually ask ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity about your services and see what comes back.
And be systematic about it. Test different phrasing, different geographic qualifiers, different ways of describing the same service. Look for patterns in what gets mentioned.
Then work on the contextual authority piece. Make sure your website, your directory listings, your LinkedIn profiles all use language that matches how people actually ask for your services.
This isn't about keyword stuffing like old-school SEO. It's about clear, consistent communication that these AI systems can confidently interpret.
The distributed validation aspect is trickier, but not impossible. Look at where your competitors are getting mentioned and ask yourself why you're not part of those conversations.
Industry associations, local business groups, trade publications. These create the cross-references that build confidence in AI recommendation systems.
We've seen businesses improve their AI visibility significantly just by ensuring they're listed consistently across relevant professional directories.
But here's what businesses get wrong. They treat this like a one-time fix. AI systems are constantly updating their understanding based on new information.
That's crucial. Our audits show that businesses that were invisible in ChatGPT 3 months ago might be getting mentioned regularly now, and vice versa. This landscape shifts constantly.
Which is why the systematic approach matters. You need ongoing monitoring, not just periodic checking.
Let me give you a specific example from our recent work. A UK engineering consultancy was completely absent from AI recommendations, despite having excellent traditional search rankings.
Their website was technically perfect, their SEO was solid, but they were describing their services in industry jargon that didn't match how business owners actually ask for engineering help.
When we tested queries like structural engineers near their city across multiple AI systems, competitors with clearer service descriptions were getting consistent mentions. The solution involved aligning their language with actual customer queries while maintaining their professional credibility. It wasn't about dumbing down, it was about being accessible. Within 6 weeks, they started appearing in ChatGPT recommendations. By 3 months, they were mentioned consistently across Perplexity, Claude, and Copilot for their target queries. The key was treating each AI system as a distinct audience with specific interpretation patterns, not assuming they all work the same way.
That's something businesses need to understand. Gemini processes business information differently than Claude. Copilot has different validation requirements than Perplexity.
So when you're doing your query auditing, test across multiple systems. Don't just focus on ChatGPT because it's the most popular.
Especially for UK businesses, because geographic interpretation varies significantly between systems. Some handle UK regional queries better than others. Let's address the elephant in the room, though. This takes time and expertise that most business owners don't have. How do you prioritize where to focus first? Start with your core service offering and your primary geographic area. Test the most obvious questions first. If you're not appearing for those, the more specific queries won't matter. And be honest about which AI systems matter most for your customer base. If your clients are using ChatGPT primarily, focus there first, rather than trying to optimize for everything simultaneously. The mistake we see is businesses trying to game these systems like traditional SEO. But AI recommendation systems are fundamentally about building genuine, verifiable authority. Which brings us back to the basics: clear communication, consistent presence, and genuine expertise. The technology is new, but the principles of building business credibility aren't. The difference is these AI systems can evaluate and cross-reference that credibility at a scale and speed that wasn't possible before. They're not just crawling web pages, they're building comprehensive business understanding. For UK businesses, that creates both opportunities and challenges. The opportunity is that genuine local expertise can get recognized and recommended. The challenge is that vague or inconsistent positioning gets filtered out quickly. Looking ahead, we're seeing these interpretation patterns become more sophisticated. The businesses that start adapting now will have significant advantages as AI-driven discovery becomes more prevalent. But it requires a strategic approach, not just tactical fixes. You need to understand how your business fits into these AI recommendation frameworks. To wrap up today's discussion, if ChatGPT or other AI systems are mentioning your competitors instead of you, it's likely due to contextual authority gaps, insufficient distributed validation, or query alignment mismatches. The solution starts with systematic auditing to understand where you stand, followed by strategic positioning improvements that help AI systems confidently recommend your business. Remember, this isn't about tricks or shortcuts. It's about helping AI systems understand and validate what you actually do so they can recommend you to the right people at the right time. If you're dealing with this challenge in your business, don't just hope it resolves itself. The gap between businesses that are AI visible and those that aren't is widening quickly. Thanks for joining us today on AI Search Explained. For more detailed guidance on AI recommendation optimization and to access our audit tools, visit rank4ai.co.uk. We'll be back next week with more practical AI search insights.